2020 was a freaky year. Here's a recap on how I lived it. The year started out really rough for me. I was suffering from depression and heartbreak. I basically cried and spent the entire month in bed. A trip to Florida to go see my mom with my sister helped, but still, I started out February still pretty depressed and struggling really to find reasons to live. I couldn't really see the point of being here, and I just couldn't find any desire to go on. Luckily, my sister's an awesome therapist, and she really helped me out through this. She asked me,
"So if you really don't want to live, but you choose to just keep on breathing and going through the motions of living, then you might as well make the most of the time you have. So if you have extra time and it's all a bonus, what would you do with that time?"
I blurted out that I'd go to Greece. I felt like somewhere I wouldn't understand the language would make me feel less messed up. Okay, what else? She said. I'd been watching van life videos for at least 2 years and I was kind of obsessed with tiny living, so I said I'd buy a van. And so I did, as my Valentine's Day present 2020. Then, in March 2020, I actually did go to Athens, Greece. It was kind of scary to go on such a big trip by myself, but I figured I always organize everybody else's trips, so I should be able to handle it. And besides, what did I have to lose? I ate a bunch of delicious vegan Greek food. I wandered everywhere, and I got my confidence back a little. I was actually pretty proud of myself for figuring out public transportation in Greek. So I wandered everywhere, and I really soaked in the culture. Then, the pandemic was declared, and I came back to Canada. Honestly, it was kind of nice and luxurious to be coming back in empty planes and airports. It was all fun and games until I got back and found out that I lost my job at the airport because of this coronavirus. I also lost my place to live, and none of my family wanted to see me because I'd been overseas in a pandemic. I needed to isolate. So I started living, and my quarantine at my sister's empty office, everything was shut down. Probably so that I didn't fall back into the depression and get super lonely, my sister asked me to babysit this dog, Charlie. And she was a godsend. She made me go outside for walks even in this crappy weather. And all the fresh air of walking Charlie 4 times a day gave me strength to start planning the build of my van. And I even started ordering things online. And I started to get excited about building my van.
Wasn't sure how the round window would look like from the outside. I knew I wanted it from the inside, but it actually looks really good, I think. Check it out.
I even got back a little spare energy that I used to help make meals for the homeless. Because of the pandemic, a lot of services had shut down. So through Northern Lights Fromagerie, we helped nourish them with healthy, organic, vegan food throughout the shutdown. By the time May rolled around, the nice weather finally came, and I had all the plans done up to start building out my van. I'd already gotten different people and contractors to install my windows, my fan, and to spray foam my van.
Good morning, everyone. I'm so excited this morning. It's my first trip to the Home Depot. We're getting ready for framing. We're going to be framing the walls, the floor, and the ceiling this weekend. So first trip to Home Depot. Of course, everything's made a little bit more complicated now due to COVID. So I have to order everything online and then either get delivered or pick up. So I've got lots of room in my van to pick up all this wood. So let's go do it. My second trip at Home Depot today.
My dad helped me a lot in converting my van into my new tiny home. He didn't really understand the point of what I was doing. Heck, neither did I really. But he supported me through it all, because he could see that it was making me happy. I'm not going to say that I was totally cured of depression and heartbreak, but I was definitely doing better. I was still living in my sister's office, but having the van project going really focused me and gave me hope for the future. And it was coming along well. My cousin Dennis really helped me with my electrical system. They call him the solar guy, and he sure knows his stuff. I loved learning and helping him set up my solar system.
My bed finally came in.
And the day my bed came in is pretty much the day I moved in. To celebrate, I wanted to go camping, so I went with my favorite guy, my godson Noah. The weather was just perfect, so we swam a lot and we had a great time with nature together. In July, there was still a lot of work going on in the van. I was living in it though, and sleeping in front of different lakes every night, even though it was under construction.
Alright, so my stove is installed now. I still can't cook myself a stir fry tonight as I had hoped though. And I have hot water. So it's been really hot these days, but I've been so comfortable in my van just with the fan. Right now I'm in town.
Now that I had a stove, water, a toilet, and a fridge, my sister and I went on a trip. We decided to go to River Valley to discover our Métis roots and to see where our grandma had lived and just to chill in nature together. I was feeling stronger and happier by the day. A little update on how I'm doing living in the van. So I've been living in the van for a little bit over a month now. So when I'm in the front of my van, in the cab, it just feels like my vehicle. And then when I'm at the back, it just feels like my home. Yes, it's unfinished, but it still feels perfect for now. Another goal that always meant a lot to me was to help people eat vegan. And since most people love cheese, what better way than through plant-based cheese? I really believe in the Northern Lights Fromagerie brand and continue to promote it. Once you taste this cheese, people, you will crave it. I promise. By September, I was a lot stronger. I even went after another goal of mine. I started training to become a commercial pilot. My schooling is all online at the moment through Zoom, but by May 2021, I'll be on site in Thayendanegea flying. So the weather was still really nice in northeastern Ontario, and I was just enjoying camping by lakes, but the leaves were turning colors and the ducks were getting ready to leave, and I knew my time to leave was coming very shortly. After all, my van was my home now, and there was no way that I could stay in Northern Ontario in minus 40s, even minus 10.
Making more room in the garage. Lots of stuff to fit.
Little by little, everything was coming together. I finally got the courage to leave my sister's office, which had been like my safety nest for the past 6 months. And then Jimmy Chabot at Radio-Canada did this amazing interview with me. It was written and also a video. Meanwhile, I was getting kind of sweet on my carpenter. We knew each other from childhood, like his backyard was facing my backyard when I was growing up, but we had never really gotten together. But now, he was helping me so much with my van build. I definitely not planned for a relationship with anyone, and he was going through a messy breakup. Still, it was lots of fun, and we connected really well. And then, it was time to go. I did leave rather abruptly with not much warning to my loved ones. I just felt like if I didn't get away now, I never would. It was rather scary to leave everything I knew and everyone I knew just to go wandering across Canada, but I knew it had to be done. I love Saskatchewan and the way that the sun glowed on the wheat and barley fields. So beautiful. I took it one day at a time and just enjoyed the ride and my own company. I was getting into a routine, traveling, working on my websites, and also doing my classes every day through Zoom, and of course seeing beautiful things all across Canada. I would say I adapted quite rapidly to van life, mainly because I had already been living it for a few months. I really enjoyed Alberta, a lot more than I thought I would. Actually, I hadn't really thought about it. I just went for it and discovered these beautiful dunes and so many cool wild camping places. I was starting to really enjoy my voyage of discovery. November and December were all about British Columbia, Canada, BC. The beauty of our country just kept on amazing me, thrilling me, and bringing me so much joy all along the journey. When I noticed a town on the map called Radium Hot Springs, I knew I had to go there. You know how much I love water, so I knew this would be very healing. Now this right here, guys, is my idea of a perfect spot. It's out in the middle of the woods. No one else is here. All I have are the birds and this view of the mountains. Okay, come on. These views are just ridiculous. How can it be so beautiful? And it goes on. These are the Kootenays. I'm in the Kootenay Park at Radium Hot Springs. The next city I was to fall in love with in BC was definitely Kelowna. I'm in the Okanagan Valley in Kelowna, and I've been here. This is my second day here. So far, I love it. I got to stay in a really unique spot in Kelowna, right on an apple orchard where they were making cider. My good friend Rodney made sure that I had the best of time in his hometown, even arranging a scenic flight around Kelowna and the entire area. We even flew through a canyon. When I finally got to Vancouver Island, I didn't want to go anywhere else. I never looked back, never wanted to go back to mainland. So I'm in Lake Cowichan, and this forest is just surreal. Everything's big and green and tall. Just to show you the size difference, this is my hand. Interestingly enough, Victoria, the capital, became my favorite spot. It's right downtown, but it's quiet and it's peaceful, and I just love it. And then my carpenter boyfriend that I had left in Timmins asked if he could join me for about a month. I agreed wholeheartedly. By that time, I'd had enough alone time, and I was craving another human. I was ready to share my space and the adventure with someone else. So it was perfect that he'd come join me. He was going through a lot and needed time to reflect and recharge.
As you walk down so many different changing roads, may the sunlight follow you wherever you go. May the laughter greet you like a morning song. you lay your head. May it feel like home.
There's just so much beauty all around Vancouver Island. This is just a random waterfall on the side of the highway. Nanaimo, the harbor city, was also really easy to love.
In the highs and in the lows, moving fast or moving slow. May your rooms be filled with light, and may peace be by your side.
On another trip, Pacific Rim National Park in Tofino and Ucluelet just took our breath away. It was so beautiful. The power of the ocean there is crazy. I can see why it's Canada's capital of surfing. We also saw a lot of deer there.
May your heart be filled with wonder every day. Your life be so good.
For a year that started out in such a sad and hopeless way, I think I managed to really turn things around for myself. I'm hoping that hearing my story will help some of you throw caution to the wind and follow your dreams, whatever they are. There's nothing more important than finding your own joy. That was my conclusion, anyways.
I'm not sure how 2021 will go, but it will be fun to find out. I leave you with this question that my sister asked me back in February that changed my life. Maybe it can help you too.